Prepositions are words that show relationships among people, places, things, events, and ideas. Consider these examples of common prepositions. The circle is on the square, the circle is under the square, by the square, near the square, over the square, next to the square, in the square, outside of the square, and the circle is behind the square. These statements use prepositions to show relationships between two shapes. In this lesson, you'll learn about purposes and functions of common prepositions and purposes and functions of prepositional phrases. Prepositions are words that show relationships among the words in a sentence. Sometimes these relationships are physical locations, as is seen in the following examples. The research team met in Harvard's genetic laboratory. I left my phone on that park bench. However, prepositions also show relationships such as time. The search party began sweeping the area at noon. And 12 years have passed since the team's last win. Here's a list of commonly used prepositions. In a sentence, prepositions are always used to introduce a prepositional phrase. Prepositional phrases are groups of related words that begin with a preposition and end with a noun or a pronoun. And the noun or pronoun that ends a prepositional phrase is known as the object of the preposition. Here's an example. Kylie Robinson is the author of 2 best-selling novels about her experiences in Peru. There are 3 prepositional phrases in this sentence. All the phrases begin with a preposition and end with a noun or pronoun acting as the object of the preposition. Any words between the preposition and the object of the preposition, as seen in the first 2, are modifiers. By that I mean they modify or give more detail about the object. They are adjectives that modify the nouns that follow them. What novels? 2 best-selling novels. Whose experience? Her experiences. We can show this by removing the adjectives and seeing that the sentence is still grammatically sound. Kelly Robinson is the author of novels about her experiences. Here are 2 more examples. Child development experts at Stanford are studying the negative effects of excessive television time. And I found a bag of oranges under the back seat of my car. In a sentence, prepositional phrases as a whole usually function as either adjectives or adverbs. If a prepositional phrase is an adjective, it describes a noun or pronoun and answers the following questions. Which one, what kind, how many, how much, and whose. Let's use an example to illustrate this. A young lawyer from Chicago disappeared last night. In this sentence, the prepositional phrase from Chicago is describing the subject lawyer. Which lawyer? The one from Chicago. Here's another example. I would like a vanilla cupcake with chocolate frosting. The prepositional phrase in this sentence is describing the type of cupcake. What type of cupcake? The one with chocolate frosting. A prepositional phrase that is acting as an adverb will describe a verb and answer one of the following questions: when, where, why, how often. Consider the following example. Jim went to the Ford dealership for a replacement part. In this sentence, there are 2 prepositional phrases acting as adverbs. The first one, to the Ford dealership, describes where Jim went. The second one, for a replacement part, shows why Jim went. Here's another example. In the morning, I take a walk around the block. In the morning is a prepositional phrase describing how often the speaker walks, and around the block is a prepositional phrase describing where the speaker walks. Prepositional phrases acting as adverbs. While prepositional phrases can add some useful information to a sentence, of course, too many of them will confuse your readers or could confuse your readers. Let's look at this example. The summer position with your organization seems ideal for giving me real-life experience in journalism and in newspaper publication with a highly respected company. Now, the best way to deal with this or to fix this type of potential problem is usually to break the sentence up into 2 or 3 sentences. We could do that with this example in this way. By the way, there are all of our prepositional phrases, lots of them in one sentence. Let's break it up so that it's in 2 sentences. The summer position with your organization seems ideal. It gives me real-life experience in journalism and in newspaper publication with a highly respected company. In this lesson, we discussed purposes and functions of common prepositions and purposes and functions of prepositional phrases. Thanks for listening.